How you doing, YouTube? Mountain Master Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And yeah, Joseph. Hi, Joe.
Hey.
Joe is here yet again. I'm doing a couple beer reviews. The dogs are so excited that he's here. That they're freaking out. I'm not sure why they're freaking out. They freak out at everything. Anyway,
Yeah,
Joseph,
I didn't even have to knock on the door. I could just open the screen door. Like,
exactly.
Why am I even knocking?
Yeah. I have 3 furry alarms. That's all I
Yeah.
have. That totally would not hurt anything, so it's not like they're going to protect me from whatever at the door. They just want whatever's on the other side of the door to come in and pet them.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, Joe's here. He's in from school, and we're reviewing beers. So there you go. We're doing Descendant by Mystic Brewing. I assume it says a Suffolk Dark Ale. Suffolk, I mean Suffolk, England? Suffolk, I'm sure there's one up there in Massachusetts or Rhode Island. I don't know. It's a 750. It's a dark ale. I'm guessing it's Belgian influenced.
Yeah.
You know? So we'll see. But here's the deal. 2 things. 1, it says here, I'll read the whole label so you get the whole effect. Mystic Descendant Suffolk Ale, ale brewed molasses. 1, it says molasses. Fucking molasses. And 2, it is only 7% IBU. Or 7% alcohol.
7% IBUs?
Yes. 32 IBUs. 7% alcohol. So we'll see what happens. 7%. Could be a double. Could just be a dark ale. Who knows? But we're going to drink it. As far as what else it says in a bottle, Chelsea, Massachusetts, fermented in square fermenters, because you know those square fermenters. They'll get you.
That's what Bigfoot and narwhals fermented in.
No, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, whatchamacallit, those
Yeah,
square
there's
fermenters.
like the fucking videos up on...
yeah, I've seen them where they do the time-lapse
Yeah.
videos. Yeah. And it says, using Mystic's house-cultivated cultures, unfiltered and pasteurized. Here we go. Here's a little information. Descendant begins as a simple dark ale stretched with molasses. It's then fermented with our rustic house culture of yeast in our square fermenters. And after traditional re-fermentation in bottle, we found a character so different from anything we've had before that we call it a Suffolk Dark Ale to reflect the use of traditional local ingredients. Decadent is an ode to the ancestors, a reimagined drink of dimly remembered times, an old tavern ale for the present day. No idea what that means.
Okay, I think I kind of get what they're going for.
They're going for a dark English ale kind of
like
deal?
kind of like a mild, like what you would be having in a tavern back in the day, but at 7% alcohol, apparently. Something like.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's pretty much it.
I don't know.
It
seems like a little bit high for something that would be like...
Yeah, batch number, I don't know if it's batch number, here's the weird chart. You would say batch 910, but it actually looks like it's batch 16s, because if you look, the one's upside down.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes any sense there, you know what I mean? But anyway, we're going to drink it. Label-wise, actually it's cool. There's texture to it. It's traditional, kind of...
Have you had anything from Mystic?
I've had their Vinland 3, which it was they said it was an Abbey double, which it wasn't, that was fermented with wild, I think it was raspberry, yeast strain they found on raspberry somewhere. It was an okay beer. It didn't blow me away. It was actually given to me by somebody in a beer trade from Instagram, and I liked it enough to where when I saw this, I go, okay. I'll pick it up again and see what else they're going to do. How about you?
I've had their 3 Cranes, which is a farmhouse ale brewed with cranberries. And it was pretty good. Again, nothing to blow the doors off. Yeah, but it was an alright beer.
Yeah. Well, you always got to give a brewery a couple shots. Especially the first one. Like, it didn't blow me away, but it was interesting enough to where I wanted to try something else from them. It's definitely dark. Let's put it that way. Finger, you have more than me. Really nice creaminess to it. I would say somewhere between khaki and white, and
the head's actually like a lot lighter than I was expecting it to be. I don't know if I was expecting something like a stout head, you know,
based off the color of the beer itself. Yeah. So I mean, it's dark as hell. Nice creamy top to it. So let's see what this nose has. I like that. You're going to get in a funky roasty malt.
Yeah.
You get a little funkiness from the yeast. You get a little bit of a super non-in-your-face roasted malt.
I'm not getting a whole lot
like
of funkiness.
Berry, some kind of weird berry in there maybe or something. I don't know. Like a dark, fruity berry. Maybe?
Let's
It could be the yeast.
Could be.
It almost
I'm getting a
smells
lot of
milk
that
stout.
roastiness, though.
Almost even like milk stout, kind of like a sweetie kind of lactosey thing going on there. I don't know. It's weird. I dig it.
Yeah, it smells really, really nice.
It smells fun and interesting.
It does.
Yeah. Let's dive right in.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's cool, man, but it's blowing me away. No, but I like it. I'm getting a little kind of staleness.
That roasted quality is coming through a little too much for my liking.
Definitely get those roasted malts in there. But at the end of it, like it builds and then get this little bit of staleness in there.
Yeah, like kind of almost like a little bit like it's oxidized slightly.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a papery staleness.
But it only sticks around for a bit and then the roasted malt takes back over again.
Yeah.
Bit thin with its color. It's not a nice creaminess to a nice effervescence. Not creaminess. It actually has a nice carbonation to it, but it's a bit thin. I wouldn't even know what to classify this as. What
I would say I don't know. I would say stout.
English dark ale?
Yeah, I mean that's probably the easiest way.
Like some kind of English dark ale. It tastes like a Cascadian dark ale without the hops.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like a black IPA without the hops.
Let me do another quick on chat.
See if you can figure out hammer down a style on it or something like that. Yeah, it's interesting, and we're just said it was interesting enough of a beer when I had it the first time to make me go back.
It fucking says dark ale.
Yeah, it's like it's a beer. It was interesting enough for me to go back, and I think pretty much the same thing is going on right now. It's interesting enough to where I like it, but it's not blowing me away. But I think I might buy another thing from them just to see if they can break through. It almost seems like a brewery that's on the cusp of figuring it the fuck out. Mm-hmm. Does that make any sense?
It does. Like the farmhouse with cranberries that I had, like we were drinking it, and like, all right, this is all right. You know, we were kind of on like the day that by we I mean a bunch of my friends and I, we were kind of like on a sour farmhousey ale kick for a little while. So we had that, and we're like, yeah, this is good. It's like doing the job.
Yeah.
At the time, you know.
And let me actually reverse and say two things. It either tastes like a brewery that is on the cusp of figuring it out, or it tastes like a brewery who, because they're touting their in-house cultures and yeast, that found a yeast and is stubborn enough not to evolve from it.
Yeah.
The yeast might be holding back, being like, oh, we've cultivated our own yeast, house yeast, and now that's our house yeast, and they're like, that's it, this is our house yeast, and be like, well, it might not be robust enough, because this beer, to me, is 7%. If somehow they brought this into the 9-10% range, it would be a totally different beer in a good way, not because it's higher in ABV, because I want lower ABV beers that taste good. I just think a bump in ABV would have done this beer proper. You know what I mean? It would have brought out more flavor, brought out more.
I think so.
That would have made the beer more interesting and more impactful for me, not from an ABV standpoint, but from a flavor standpoint.
Yeah. And that's like you really have to clarify that, because we are people that like our high ABV beers. You know, it's
true, but it's not true. I love high ABV beers because of flavors.
Yeah, and that's what I'm.
But the beers
not just because it's a high ABV beer.
But the beers that blow me away half the time are beers that are super low in ABV that deliver the flavors I want at a low ABV. Yeah. So I don't actually want a high ABV. I want like I did a review of Funky Buddha's Last Snow. It was a coconut coffee porter that was 6.5%, and it was one of the best beers I've had because it tasted like a 12 to 15% beer.
Yeah.
So it's not the ABV; it's the flavor thing. I mean, I don't know if they're just going to burst out, they're going to figure it out. For me, again, there's people out there who might pick this apart and think it's nuanced to hell, and that's what they love, and again, beer's subjective. But, or if they're just figuring out yeast. It could be that simple that they're, some breweries are like microbiologists that start breweries, but then there's some breweries that are just brewers that didn't have any kind of formal training in yeast.
That turned into microbiologist.
Yeah, that turned into microbiologist. So it could be either. Anyway, if I went to a party and someone gave me a glass of this, I would be okay. This is fantastic. I really enjoy this. But that's the thing. It doesn't blow me away. I enjoy it. I'm going to drink the whole thing. It's not like I'm going to drain pour it. It's not even close to that.
No.
But it's just lacking something. Lacking inspiration for me. So, what do you think?
I don't know. It's a weird one. That, like, it's on the cusp of being too roasty for me. I'm going to actually revise what I said before, because I did, earlier on, I did say that it was a little bit too much for my liking. Drinking more of it, it's right on the border. And that overwhelming roasted quality is the reason I don't particularly like lower ABV stouts and porters.
Okay.
I think they can get a little too charry and ashy from the roasted malt. This is, like I said, this is right on the borderline.
Okay.
A little bit more of that flavor there, and I wouldn't like it. I think it could do more. I think there's something else that I think the molasses could come through a little bit more.
And that's the thing, I actually didn't explain it. I'm not really...
I'm not getting molasses.
I'm getting probably a little bit of that kind of like... You ever have, like, what do they call it? There's a different kind of molasses, but there's ones that's almost like a barely charry molasses. Like a blackstrap? Oh, like a touch of smokiness maybe from the molasses maybe, but that's it.
Yeah, but it could easily be mistaken for like a roasted malt.
Yeah.
You know, I think the yeast character, because they're going for this whole like house cultivated in a like square fermenter like they did in the good old days kind of a vibe, and I think the yeast could show that a little bit more for me. Yeah.
So my thing, I think the yeast, the ABV, bump it up. The yeast, I don't know if it's robust enough to get to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Is it a nice beer? Absolutely. Is it something I'd pick up again? If it was at the right price point, which just wasn't, I'm pretty sure I paid close to $20 for this $7.50.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
this
that.
would need to be around 10 to $12 would make me pick this up again. And it would be something I bring to a party to, like, as a filler beer, not something like a show off. Not.
Yeah, like
I think you're trying to show off.
Yeah, but like it's not.
Let's all drink a lot of beer and here's
some
beer.
It's like it's not a look what I pulled out of the cellar today.
Yeah,
kind of a beer. You know. Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I don't think time would do this any. I don't think it would ruin it, but I don't think it would grow with time.
I don't think so either. I don't think the yeast. I don't know if they're re-fermenting in the bottle with the same kind of yeast that they're primary fermenting this out with, but I don't even think the yeast character would develop over time.
No, but I mean, and it's that thing like availability. I kind of see it locally. I just started seeing it locally, but up until now I haven't seen it. The Mystic stuff I have had was sent to me from upstate New York, so it's just creeping in my area. And, it is what it is. It's a really nice beer. I'm going to drink it. I'm not going to be like, oh, no, I'm going to drink this thing. I'm enjoying it. It just lacks inspiration. If you like what we like this. If you wish somebody who made Abbey beers tried their hands at a English mild dark beer, or if you are...
The first, speaking of that real quick, the first review thing is on Untapped. The people that actually write something about the beers are like few and far between, and it just so happened that the first review for this beer, I'll pull it up right now because I have it. Dark malt and molasses plus some char, nuts, chocolate, dark fruit, and a Belgian yeast. Great intersection of a Belgian and a London stout.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say all those flavors are really showcased, but if someone's going to really pick it apart, I mean, listen, if someone says those words and you drink it, you'd be like, okay. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the flavors are so minuscule in it, but it isn't apt to kind of description to say it's somewhere in between those two beers. Yeah. So if you like those two beers and you want to go transition to one or the other, or you like a mixture of the two, then this is the beer for you.
I think if you're into the whole like wild. I don't know necessarily wild yeast, but like, oh, we're house cultivating yeast and this, that, and the other. If you're into that whole kind of nonsense, well, nonsense being just a subjective way of like how I talk, I think you'd like this.
Yeah. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you want to check Joseph and myself out, you can anywhere else on the internet. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped for me. Massive Beers in all 4 of those places. How about you?
Me, nepabeerreviews.squarespace.com. Also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at nepabeerreviews.
There you go. Another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a square fermenter, wild yeast, cultivated,
re-fermented in the bottle,
re-fermented in the body,
unpasteurized,
English mild export. It's an export stout Abbey Ale.
Yeah.
There you go. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.